拍个照啊！报完了，高中科都报完了，你们没有高中科带相机了。
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another Go to Ningbo live stream. My name is Matt. I am a YouTuber with a Jiao YouTube channel. We are in Fenghua today, and we are at the Xuedou Temple. And primarily, we're at the top of the north side of the temple, which is where you got the Maitreya Buddha, which is an enormous statue of the Maitreya Buddha. A lot of people refer to him as the Happy Buddha or the Smiling Buddha because when he was alive, he was a pretty happy guy. So today, we're going to take you around the Xuedou Temple. I'm going to show you some things. We're going to visit the areas around the temple and some fixtures around that kind of make this place a bit special. A lot of the things that you were going to see today tie into a lot of Chinese culture. It also ties into Ningbo history as well. So we'll bring it all together, hopefully have a good time. But good starting point is the Smiling Buddha. So everybody get your smile on and let's have a good time. So, a lot of people make this pilgrimage here to walk up the steps, which we will actually walk down in a little while, and they end up here. So we're starting at the end for a lot of people. Now, if you look behind me, you'll see this guy. He's actually embracing the foot of the Smiling Buddha. Today it's more of like a fun custom to touch the foot, but if you're a firm believer that Buddhism is your philosophy, then touching that foot might save your life or save your afterlife. Because if you lived a life of maybe not really following the rules very much, you could come up here and you can just literally embrace the toe and you could say, please, please, I'm really going to follow the rules for the rest of the whatever remainder of my life is here. As a matter of fact, here, let's look at the toe real quick. So you embrace the foot, you know, and then you could see here and here, this toe in particular has been well worn with the praise and wishes of people that are like, please, please. I did good. I might have not done all good, but in the end I did good. But yeah, the Smiling Buddha will make sure that he looks upon you very, very happily. Now, this Buddha is huge. It's 53 meters. I'm not exactly sure where the 53 meters start. I know it starts obviously at the top of his head, but I think it goes down to the actual base of the structure. It's quite large, but it's also reinforced metal. So as live stream goes, we might drop out for a few seconds, but hang loose as we walk down the stairs and exit the Maitreya Buddha because we might disappear, but we'll come back, right? So I'm here with the Go to Ningbo crew, and so we got to give them credit because they might actually fall down, and if the camera starts tumbling and you hear, ooh, 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 you know, just know these girls are working very hard to bring us a really nice program. Do we have anybody watching yet?
Yeah.
Okay, hi. I got it. I can hold. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. You can tell by the construction of this thing that it is very solidly built. Maybe too solid. Stairs are are we on? Are we still here? Yeah. We'll just actually sort of not say anything too important while we go down the elevator because it's probably going to get lost anyway. You'll see a lot
didn't lose.
Didn't lose?
Didn't lose.
You'll see a lot of people, hands together, groups of 3 praying. Some of
Oh, it's back.
Okay. This is the foot of the Maitreya Buddha. Actually, he's above our head right now. We just came down through the mess of metal, and that's why we lost connection. If you're watching this live, you'll see that. Now these are a figurehead of a lot of temples in the area is giving thanks and giving wishes and asking for forgiveness and different things like this. This is actually having a wish, and you're hoping by placing your wish on a little bell here that eventually your wish will be granted. And in the meantime, it's just quite beautiful. The sound that you hear when the wind blows through all of these wishes. It's quite nice. All right, let's walk down the stairs. Now, if you don't know who I am, I used to have a TV show here in Ningbo called the Ningbo Focus. If you go on YouTube and search Ningbo Focus, you'll see my much younger, much more handsome face with less belly. But you know what? Maybe the belly works well because me and the Buddha have that Buddha belly together. But I came here years ago. I think it was about 8 years ago, and I did a TV show here called the Ningbo Focus. And it was winter time, and we walked up to the Milafu Buddha and did some skiing in here in Ningbo. A lot of people that moved to Ningbo actually watch my videos before they moved to Ningbo. So I oftentimes get people that say, hey, you know what? I was trying to decide between Shenzhen, Shanghai, Beijing, and Ningbo, and I watched your videos and I chose Ningbo. So it's kind of a really an honor to be the introductory inspiration for a lot of people to move to Ningbo. But anyways, the Xuedou Temple is set up like a lot of temples. You have a large staircase that walks up to the main figurehead, which is, you know, the large Buddha statue. Traditionally, which is funny because I know the tradition, but there's a lot of people here that are not following the tradition. These two over there are not following the tradition, but you normally want to walk up the left side, and you want to walk down the left side from your perspective. So I'm walking down the stairs, I'm on the left side, and I'm walking down. If you're going up, you go up on the left side. And traditionally, from what I'm able to gather, and I'm no scholar, but it has to do with being humble. Pretty much everything in this temple is about being humble and allowing yourself and allowing the world to know that you're not perfect. So like, you show Buddha that you understand that you're an imperfect being, and that's okay, you know? And so a lot of the things, like even walking through different doorways, using a certain foot, going a certain direction, it all signifies humility and humbleness and understanding that, you know, you're part of nature, you're not better than it, you know? As a matter of fact, Buddhism in general is not about me, it's about everything, you know, and everything having its place. So, you know, I'm American, so I spent 30 years in America before I moved to China. I've been in China for about 10 years. And in that time, I've sort of seen so much. America's history is fairly short with regards to, you know, the moment that we arrived from Britain. I mean, mostly non-native Indians. And so when you come to China and you see such a long history, I mean, Chinese history is built on, you know, systems and cultures and habits. And these habits are exemplified in these structures like these temples and things like this. It gives you a bit more pause. It gives you an ability to kind of like reflect on meanings, you know, because these things have such a long history. And I mean, some of these things were not built thousands of years ago. Obviously, the floor that I'm on has been remade and rebuilt, but it's built upon the principles that took thousands of years to make, you know, so that's pretty cool. I mean, you have people here that are praying with incense, and they're remembering their ancestors, or they're hoping for wealth, or they're hoping for peace and tranquility. Or even over here, we can look at some more of these wishes. This is an ash pit where people put their incense. And even location-wise, it's all sort of feng shui-ish. You know, the Milafu Buddha sits on the north side, and he's looking south. A lot of the characters that we'll look at in a little bit are signifying north, south, east, and west. The direction of the walkways, the direction of the paths, the way that you step up the steps, everything sort of has some sort of cultural meaning. And when I look at some of these people, Chinese people, not following the original traditions, Yet me, the foreigner, is like, oh, gotta follow the. It makes me a little bit worried. I hope that everybody at least remembers why you walk up the left and why originally those people kind of said, you know, I think we should create this, these rules, these guide, these principles so that people can follow. Anyways, this is a lot like the bells up top, right?
Yeah. So, like,
So these all will have. Do they describe a different? Each one is different, or are they all the same?
basically they're
Yeah,
the
but they
same.
have names, right?
Names. They're both sleeves.
Yeah. Taiwan, different places, they all have similar etiquette when you get to the temples. As a matter of fact, where was I? Where was I? Just recently I was in Kuala Lumpur. I was in Malaysia. And I was at a temple. No, I was in Georgetown. Do you know Georgetown?
No.
Georgetown is an island in Malaysia. There's a lot of Chinese influence there. There's a lot of trading and things back when the Straits of Malacca was there. There was a lot of trading between China and Malaysia at the time. And they have an area there where they have a temple with a huge Buddha at the top. And you can actually buy the tiles that go on the roof of the temple and you can inscribe your name. So like a lot of those, I think they will end up rotting and you will have to take them down, you know, but they will end up disappearing. Your wish will end up disappearing. But at that temple in Malaysia, which was like a Chinese Buddhist temple, very similar to this, you actually built the temple. So you became part of this structure. So, you know, I would imagine that your tile that will be in the ceiling will be there for a very, 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 very long time, which is kind of neat. You can become one with the place that you visited and the wish that you left. It will probably outlive you. Candles, another big symbolic gesture where you light the candle and you leave it burning. I know, especially like deaths, right? If you have a death in the family here in China, there's a lot of like, if they follow the belief in Buddhism, there's a lot of praying, a lot of lighting of candles. Are we good with the stream?
Stream? What stream?
Are we good with the stream?
Yeah.
Okay. You were looking strange. She's sweating like crazy. All right. So another thing that's interesting, I did this during the show. Oh, just to kind of give you an idea of the new normal that we live today. Like, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm trying to be socially distant, and I'm doing the show with you guys. But Ningbo right now is quite clean. There hasn't been a case here in a long time. But you still see people voluntarily wearing masks and making sure that they're protected. But you see a lot of these signs everywhere, which is interesting. You know, I mean, that sign was not there when I did the show last time. There's a whole infrastructure here in Ningbo in China that's dedicated. Hello. That's dedicated to making sure that everything is clean. Especially, you know, when you go to a temple, there's a lot of touching involved. You know, you're touching the Buddha's foot, you're touching these markers and emblems and things. Like, touching is part of the idea of giving thanks or praise. And so it's tough to balance a pandemic time with a visit to a temple like this. It's kind of scary in some ways, but yeah, this is the bell. Now they ring this for prayer times. And, I mean, this thing is heavy as heck. This is incredibly heavy. Yeah, we're not going to ring it out loud, but if you want to, actually, I rang it for the show that I did, but you could see that they actually have it locked down. So you can't ring it. But ordinarily, you'd have a monk that would stand alongside, and you could be on that side. You could be on that side. You know, and they would give it a nice swing back and bring it into the bell, and you'd have a beautiful ring that would go. I mean, you ring this bell, you can hear it for kilometers. I mean, it just goes on and on. And it's interesting, I didn't realize that they had English written on it too. Yeah, I was here, I think when I came here 8 years ago, it was right around the time that they had the Shanghai Expo. And they kind of branded it with English and Chinese because they knew that there was probably going to be a lot of people traveling here, and they probably don't really understand the Chinese characters very well. It's one of the interesting things. You know, one of the funny things about living in China, I've lived here 10 years, and I'm an American, and my Chinese is not as good as I'd like it to be. I wish it was better. I'm going to turn this way, the light's going to be better. But I can go to a place here in Ningbo, and I can walk down the street, and I can walk up to somebody and say, 你好, and they will go, their face will light up, and they will go, 你说得很好, like, you speak so well. Just because you said hello in Chinese, 你好, you know. But if you're in America and you say a very rough hello, like, hello, hello, they'll say, you should learn more English, pal. It's just funny. China is very welcoming to people that might not speak Chinese, and that's good, you know. Very few places in America have Chinese to help guide the foreigners that might have a little trouble with English. Just an interesting juxtaposition. If I walk too fast, you tell me. Oh, he's playing my...
Oh.
He recorded.
Oh.
Oh, you're watching the stream.
It's funny. China is very welcoming.
That's cool. That's cool. Go to Ningbo. That's so funny. I'm like, holy shit. Am I hearing something? I'm hearing my ears ringing. I hope he likes the show. Have you seen that yet?
Yeah.
You have? Seen somebody watch a show while you're doing the show?
Oh, no. This is the first time.
That's awesome. You know, it's like I've done YouTube for many years. I have about 1,600 videos on my YouTube channel now. 1,600, you know. And so I have people walk up to me and they'll say, I know you. They'll say, how's your daughter? How's your wife? Are you okay? I know you had a cold a couple of days ago. Because my YouTube channel is very, very open. I share my life in China and I share my life as I travel. Because normally I'm cycling around the world. I climbed Everest. I've done caving in the largest cave in the world in Vietnam. I've done a lot of, well, I call them interesting things, but I've done what I think is interesting. And so a lot of people watch my videos and they feel like they know me, like they're my best friends. And in many ways they are, but I just don't know them. And they'll find me and they'll say, hey Matt, how's it going? I'll say, hey, you? Because I'm always nervous. I know them, but I don't know them, you know? Maybe I should know them, but I don't. Anyways. It's fun being a YouTuber. I have a huge family. Now you are all my family, so you guys watching are part of my family. Welcome. Okay, so now we've descended the steps, and that was a lot easier than going up the steps, right?
Yeah.
We were trying to decide what to do, whether we started at the top and worked our way down, or started at the bottom and worked our way up. I think it's good we started at the top, right? Because we would have been sweaty and
It'd be easier.
it would have been a lot harder. So this is, which direction is this? This is
The...
Dong?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, my Chinese is better than I thought.
The east.
Yeah, east, north, south, east, west. I think should be easy. But so these characters, they're four corners, and I thought it was interesting. We've got this one over here. Yeah, it's okay. I just want to keep my voice near the microphone. And then this one over here. And so if this is east, right?
This is east.
This is east. And then so that one's west. And then so that one must be north, and that one must be south, right?
Yeah, that one is
Yeah,
north.
yeah, that was the right. Thank God I got that right. But yeah, you know what the weird thing was? Is that the Maitreya Buddha is north. That's true north. And then this is true south. So if that's north and this is south, then east is actually, this building is east. So this is like northeast. So I don't know. He's the god of east, but he's northeast. I don't know what's going on here. Just a joke. Not a big. That wasn't a very funny joke. You know, when you do YouTube and you edit the videos, you can only take the best parts. But when you're live streaming, if you act like an idiot, you're pretty much an idiot on camera, so you can't, there's no hiding it. There's no clever editing. I can make myself as smart or as stupid as I want to be when I edit my videos. But on live streams, what you see is what you get, pretty much. How's the live stream going so far?
22 minutes.
No, I mean, how's it going? Good or
Oh,
bad?
it's good. There are 3 people wrote comments.
Okay. Any questions? Hey, if you guys have any questions or anything, put them in the comment section and we will answer them. Any questions? Now, we'll see it on the staircases going down, those big panels with the inscriptions and things on them. There's a really beautiful one in the Forbidden City. You know that big, huge stone tablet that's between the stairs. I don't know if you could see those white ones. Each one of those is a single tablet that's been carved out of granite or some type of stone. Very, very intricate designs that are, telling some sort of a story or some sort of a tale. That's one of the cool things I like about coming to a temple. It's like every single thing has some sort of a story behind it, whether it's some ancient temple with some god or some character, some version of Buddha. There's so many versions of Buddha. You go to some temples and you'll have like 100 different types of Buddha, and different iterations and different time periods, meaning different things, for different purposes. So you'll have a Buddha for fortune, and you'll have a Buddha for happiness, and you'll have a Buddha for prosperity and a good family and a good home. Just like many, many different representations of Buddha that, depending on why you went to the temple, you can you have a place to kind of vent your personal situation. So some people come here because there was a death in the family. Some people come here because they're lonely. Some people come here because they want to be successful, So these temples kind of can cater to the different needs of the different people that come here, which is nice. Yeah, here's one of the tablets. Must be granite. Yeah. The one in the Forbidden City is much larger. It's and I think it's made out of. Anybody in the comment section? I think it's made out of metal. Like it's a bronze tablet. Maybe it is marble. Very, very smooth though. Over time, a lot of these surfaces, especially the ones that you touch, almost become polished because you've touched it so many times. It becomes very, very smooth. Which way are we going? Are we going to go inside and around, right?
Around.
In and around, or around and then in? Yeah, around and then in. We have a leader. We have a guide. Now, this area of the temple is, especially when we get around the outside, it reminds me a lot of like that Shanghai courtyard style. Not necessarily Shanghai courtyard or Beijing courtyard. There's a lot of this sort of like clan houses or structures where you have an outer border and then an inner temple in the center, or an inner building. And sometimes in clan houses where you have a family, right? So you have grandpa, grandma, aunts and uncles all living within the clan house. You'll have buildings along the outside where the people might be living, but in the middle you'll have like the bandstand, right? The place where people do presentations, like they actually.
You mean that like gym size?
Yeah. Oh, no. We'll go and take a look at that. I'm talking about where you do performances. So you have the Chinese opera or the bandstand, What I'm trying to say is that a lot of cases you'll have places like this, where you have structures all around the outside edge, and then you have a focal point in the center. And I gotta imagine that a lot of this stemmed from history where you're trying to protect the home, right? So you have the wall around the outside home, and then you have the important social gathering place on the inside. But in Shanghai, what is it? There's a place in Shanghai, not Huntun. I want to say Huntun, but it starts with an H, where there's a lot of like these sort of like small courtyard style houses, and then you'll have pretty much all of them have some sort of a water fixture. Now this one, you know, obviously people use it for luck, where they'll put money in and they'll make wishes, or they'll have fish. Fish in China signifies good luck and fortune. But the primary, in my thought, the primary focus, and from what I've heard, the primary reason for these is for fire. So if there's a fire in your house, you have water ready to put out that fire. And so they had this thing there that was really important. They needed a source of water just in case, you know, a lot of these buildings, I mean, this is all wood. If this thing starts on fire, you're going to have real problems with it. It's very dry. So you got to have water nearby in order to put out that fire. And so I think probably the fire thing came first. And then the symbol of, you know, we have this water here. We should pray around it because it's good luck. And geez, good luck is, if you put out your fire, that's pretty good luck, right? So maybe that is. Isn't that funny to kind of think about the purpose of things and how the purpose of things expand into the belief system behind those things and maybe the legend behind it. Anyways, here is, there's a jade Buddha here. It's kind of interesting, but we can't talk too loud. You know, it's funny. She told me I needed to talk loud. Do I talk loud enough? I think my voice is pretty loud. Probably too loud. Anyway. So, ideally, we would walk around the left side. That would be kind of the way that you walk around the structure. But we're not going to really walk around. We're just going to look. So you see that Buddha? Let's see here. There, right there. Yeah. That's a jade Buddha. Solid jade. And that Buddha is worth 300 million, right? You said? Yeah. 300 million RMB? How much is 300 million RMB in USD? It's a lot, right? Let's see.
7. The change rate is 7.
TURR currency. Let's go to Chinese yuan. 300. So that's 43 million US dollars for that. Now, obviously, we can't get there and touch it, but if we could, pure jade is cool to the touch. So you know it's pure jade if you touch it, and it's kind of cool. We can't really touch it, but if we could, I imagine it would be very cool. And so you have people that'll come here and pray. They'll take incense right here, and they'll hold it in their hands. And they will go in front of the fixture and they'll pray. Now, if you look in here, you can also see yellow chairs where the monks will kneel. And you'll have a lead monk that'll be leading the prayer. And, yeah. I wonder what time. You'll probably hear the sound of the bell. The monks will file in, and there'll be a prayer time. If you want to, you can actually come to this temple and stay a week or more, and you live with the monks, you live amongst them. Technology is, I don't know if technology is forbidden here. I would imagine so. It's a time for prayer and for focusing on everybody and everything. Because it's not about you, it's about the fact that you are part of a larger thing. Now, again, we see the sign here that says disinfected today. So, I mean, everything is like letting you know that we're taking care of this area so that you can kind of take care of yourself and your prayers. And everybody else, of course. It's not just about you. It's about, you know, if I was thinking about that, if somebody came in here and they were sick, they're touching everything. Everybody else is touching something. So it's very important that an area like this is cleaned and so that people feel comfortable when they come here. Here's another area for incense. Now, when you pray, there's a significance in the frequency of the number 3. Can anybody in the comment section help? What is the significance of the number 3? Yeah. Okay. Okay, Pai. Okay.
Oh.
She's.
He wants to.
Okay.
What? Hold on. This is
不可以。
要把它换成那个拍照片的。
Oh, the smell here is fantastic. Here, can you take it? Help him. Okay, okay, 谢谢。不好意思。Go to Ningbo, you'll see it. You'll see a live video of that picture being taken. If that picture didn't take. You know what's funny? Okay, that is a very interesting thing that my mom came and visited me a number of years ago, and we went to what's that city near Ningbo where they make the movies? It's like the city where they make all the old movies.
Oh, it's Hengdian.
Hengdian. You got to go to Hengdian and make the next. You got to make one of these at Hengdian.
But there is one in Ningbo. It's called Shangshan.
Okay, yeah,
Shangshan Film and TV.
Right.
City.
We went.
That's the next place we are going to.
Oh, perfect.
With the South Korean host.
Okay. I took my mom to Hengdian, and my mom had never been to China before, and my mom is like your typical suburban American mom. Oh, here's your lunch to go to school. Papers. Just like cooking dinner for us, and just. Oh, he figured out the camera. Didn't get it right. Here, it's okay. Did you get it? Huh? Okay, you take it. Taki bani. Okay. Just gotta get the shot. Papa? He's a man on a mission. Okay. Good job. Jayo. So anyways, that happened with my mom. And she was so taken aback by it. But she knows me and she knows my videos. She's seen me in China for a very long time. But she was like, holy moly, everybody wants to take a picture with me. I'm special. It was so nice to see my mom. And, it's like a win-win because everybody wants to take a picture with the foreigner too. And so my mom's happy and the people taking the pictures are happy. Everybody's happy. There's no lose in that situation. And basically what I'm getting at is that if you come to China, you should be open to that. You should be ready. Now, it's much less than it was before. Like when I came here 10 years ago, very, very common to see somebody say they've never seen a foreigner before, ever, You'd walk up and see a little girl and her eyes would be like this. And she'd be looking at you and then, why is she okay? And then the mom would say, oh, she's never seen a foreigner before, Whereas today it's a little bit less of that. But it still is that kind of cool, I don't know, you get that in a society that's a little bit, there's not as many foreigners that come to China, not as much as America. America's a melting pot, so I think light would be better on this way, right, inside. But America is a melting pot, so you have Asians and Middle Easterners and South Africans and just everybody all together. So in some ways we're all the same, but in China you're a little bit unique, being a foreigner. So that it's kind of interesting because you can share some things with them, they can share some things with you. Now this is interesting. This is a sill, a door sill. Now, you find these in like the Forbidden City. You'll find these in big, prestigious houses. You'll find them in the largest gate, the entryway to the building. So you'll have these berms. Now, they serve so many purposes. Actually, when I was in the Forbidden City, it was the first time I saw one of these really, really large, like, you call it a windowsill, but it's a door sill that you have to step over. There's so much involved in this. But like I said with the water jug, you have a situation where probably they put the water jug there to make sure they had some water in case of a fire. And then they had the water, then they put fish in. Oh, fish are good luck. And water is good luck. Water is vitality. And so there was all of this tradition built around the need for fire suppression in an old house. But this, okay, you have a big house. There's a potential for flooding. So you have this large sill here to first environmentally keep the floodwaters away and keep the interior of your house from flooding. But beyond that, there's all sorts of tradition that was built around it. The height of the sill represents the stature of the person living in the house, or the stature of the facility. So this is a very prestigious temple, so the sill is very tall. The one in the Forbidden City is really tall. It really takes a lot to step over it. A lot of times you bury your family inside the temple, and so you have the spirit of the people that you love in this place that is beautiful, and you want to keep them there. So the sill is meant to contain the spirits of the people that you love, to keep them from flowing away outside. Conversely, the negative spirits, the evil, the nasty ones, they're kept away and can't come in from the outside coming in. So there's all sorts of interesting habits and belief systems based around this simple little windowsill or door sill in a lot of these houses. And even stepping over it, actually, I think we're stepping over the wrong side, right? We got to be on the left side, right? So everything is sort of, the left side shows humbleness. So because I'm a man, we step over the door sill with our left foot first. So when we step it over, we're kind of using the left foot and then the right foot. And when you do it in that order, again, it shows humility. It shows, because I was doing some checking on this. The left signifies the pain and suffering that you enact upon yourself. It basically is your real you, the dirty you. We all have a dirty part, right? We keep it secret. But when you walk over with the left foot, you kind of open that up and say all the good and all the bad. And by doing that, you show that you're not perfect. Nobody's perfect, So when you walk into this temple, you're kind of admitting the fact that you're an imperfect being, and all of us are fallible, and all of us aren't perfect. Oh, this way. You'll find water is signified a lot in temples and everywhere. And this one, as a matter of fact, is full of goldfish. We can walk around and check it out here at the little wharf here. A lot of koi. In Chinese malls, have you seen this? They have this thing where they have a big opening with all the goldfish, and they let the kids scoop the fish out. Oh my gosh, my daughter did that.
Sometimes they told people, don't fish the fish.
But it's so sad, those poor fish. Like the little, my daughter has got this little net, and she's going crazy. She's like, get this, and she's putting it in a bucket, and then she dumps the bucket out, and then she gets them again, and she dumps it out again, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So we bought one of those fish, and we brought it back to the house. Like, we're giving that fish a much better life than it would ever have in that poor pool. And there was turtles in there too. The turtles, and they paint the back of the turtle with a picture. Anyway, we're going to disappoint the fish, actually, because they're probably like, oh, somebody's going to feed us? Yeah. Fish are good luck. And goldfish are even more good luck, I think. Yeah, here, come here. Kind of neat to because the Maitreya Buddha is painted so brightly, and the light is on him so nicely that right there you can see him through. And as you move backwards, you can keep seeing the happy Buddha smiling on you from all parts of this temple. It's pretty it's nice, He's kind of looking down on you all the time you're here at the Xuedou Temple. Do we have any questions? Is everybody having a good time? Are you enjoying my talk? So, yeah, I've been in Ningbo for the entire time I've been in China. I've pretty much been in Ningbo. Geez, I've been here a few times. Oh, yeah, I forgot to talk about it. So, back in when did the guy get in prison?
蒋介石 or Chairman Mao?
No, not Jianshi. It was.
It's pretty early.
The general,
It's like 1927.
Yeah, in about 1927. China was trying to unify against the Japanese.
Oh, you mean the unify is 1937?
37, right? So China was trying to unify. You had two factions. There was the Mao Zedong, and then you had the Chiang Kai-shek group, and they were kind of warring for dominance in China. But there was a single power. Oh, where are we going? This way. But there was a single power that was, you know, like the common enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? And that was, do not bring incenses or candles in.
张学良。
第一幽禁教，对，张学良第一幽禁地在外面，寺院外面，但是这里有2棵楠木树。
Oh, so there are two interesting trees.
Trees?
How old are those trees? 多老了这些树
70年。
？There are two trees with
70
years old.
Okay.
But the Zhang Xueliang General's house is outside the temple. It's near the temple, but it's outside the temple.
Yeah, I think we could go there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 我们要去这个。
要出去。
对。
Oh, okay.
We can go this way. Opening. Is it exit that way? I think you exit that way.
I think so.
He's like, see here? This berm here is a little bit shallower. The main door has the biggest sill. Exit. Do we go out the exit here?
可以从这里走吗？ 你介意上镜吗？可以加入我们。
Anyways, so you had the two factions. You had Mao Zedong and Zheng Xieshi and their groups. And then you had the Japanese. And the Japanese were like the common foe. No matter what problems you had between the two parties, you had to kind of come together. And so, what was it? What did tell me that? So it was Mao Zedong approached Zheng Xieshi and tried to get a unification.
Yeah,
but
Zhang Jieshi said no.
No. And
but
so
there are some genius in his party who said we should do this.
Yeah. And so basically there was some turtles and fish at Buddhist temples are very popular. So you'll get people that will bring a turtle in and they'll drop a baby turtle in. And they won't stay baby turtles for long. And so you have a lot of these pools. And these pools will fill up with way too many turtles. It's just a good thing that people come and feed them every so often because it gets a little bit out of hand. It's beautiful to see all the turtles, but sometimes those poor turtles, sort of like the same goldfish story of my daughter. Anyways, back to the story. So you have now Chiang Kai-shek, Zhang Jieshi, same name, right? Chiang Kai-shek and Zhang Jieshi. So Chiang Kai-shek actually spent a lot of time here. He spent 3 months. He has a house that's up the hill that's like sort of his compound. And you can kind of look at the place that he stayed. It's kind of interesting. And you can also see here where a general, right? He was a general?
Yeah.
He was imprisoned.
Chiang Kai-shek?
Yeah.
Around 30 years.
Well,
I think.
it's not a bad place to be imprisoned, I guess. But yeah, his prison house is one of the notable spots. We're gonna go there, right? Are we gonna check that out? What's the plan? Yeah, okay.
We can check that out.
Yeah. So we're gonna exit the temple area. If you can hear that. Surprised we lose connection here.
Oh, again, back again.
All right. It's okay. You can focus on where you're going first. Careful, backpack. Your backpack. You almost. Somehow the gift shop is 4G 4G blocked at the gift shop. They don't want people with connection at the gift shop. How dare they? So are we exiting?
Yeah.
Okay.
张学良那边要绕着围墙往上走。
Oh.
So is he with you? Do you know him?
No.
Okay. Do you know about the video though, right? You know Go to Ningbo?
你知道 go to Ningbo 的夜市？
对啊。
He knew about that.
Okay. Hello. Bye bye. Nice to meet you. So we drove here. The place we're at right now, Xuedou, is actually up a mountain road. It's quite a beautiful road to take the bus here. So if you're interested in taking a trip while you're in Ningbo, the Xuedou Temple is a nice day trip. And holy moly, you couldn't pick a better day, right? It is a beautiful day. We got a little bit of cloud cover, enough that we're not getting baked by the sun. It's not even that hot. You're sweating a little bit, but you're focusing a lot. you got a lot going on. So we can go up here to his house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy was under house arrest for like 30 years because
he was only under arrest on this house like 1 year, and then he ran away to other places.
He escaped.
Yeah, he escaped.
See, I don't know enough of that history. It's very interesting. And if we had more time, how long are we? About 40 minutes? Yeah, about 40 minutes. 50 minutes almost, right?
50.
So it'll be good. We'll finish at this house. But if we had more time, and if you have more time, because you'll spend more than an hour here if you come. There's a waterfall. It's quite beautiful. There's all sorts of different fixtures and temple elements and places in Xuedou. Not to mention that this whole area in Fenghua is quite nice. So you've got rolling green hills, a lot of like beautiful tea areas, right? This whole area of Ningbo is really different from the center of Ningbo. Like if you were downtown, Lawaitan, you know, all of these inner city areas, the CBD areas, you feel disconnected from places like this. But in reality, they're all part of the same city. So you can come here, and this is part of Ningbo, you know. So Ningbo's got a lot to offer, a lot more than most people think. Part of being a good expat or a good person that is a foreigner that comes to China is getting out and like seeing some more of the other things that are available to people in China. So you'll end up, I end up meeting a lot of foreigners. I've lived here for 10 years, so you meet a lot of expats, and there's a lot of different ones. There's the expats that embrace China, you know, maybe not like support everything that China is about, but at least they experience the different things that China has to offer, like the temples, and they go out on these trips and they see some different things. But you also have a type of foreigner that finds, the first thing he finds is the foreigner bar. and then that's pretty much his whole impression of China, is that foreigner bar and his foreigner friends. So part of the amazing ability to go to China is the chance to meet locals, you know, meet people that maybe can't speak a lick of English, and then you're trying to struggle to figure out a way to communicate. This guy's got some bottles. You know, that's one of the things I find interesting. You know, you go to it's okay, we can let these guys ahead because they want, or not. You have garbage sorting in China is like its own cottage industry. You'll have people on those little three-wheeled trikes, motor trikes, and they'll be, one guy will have, his job will be cardboard, and another guy will be, his job will be styrofoam, and another guy, his job will be finding food scraps and feeding them to the pigs. It's an interesting take on recycling your garbage and your trash, and also providing jobs for people that ordinarily wouldn't be able to. A lot of the guys that drive those paper things around are older, and maybe they couldn't work other jobs, and so this is their opportunity to do something productive, and it helps the whole community. General Zhang Shuiliang. The first confinement house Is there more than one?
Yeah.
So the first one, and then he broke out, and then his second one, and then he broke out of that one, third one.
He kept running away.
Kept running away.
Until the PRC was built.
Oh, then he didn't run away anymore. Those pesky prisoners, always running away. Look at the sign. Okay.
记得啊，往前走啊，跳绳往前走。啊，集合一下。
有
左边啊，左边雕塑。来，我们湖南的先进。
You get the tickets. I'm your cameraman right now.
快点，快点！是我们的，是我们的。哎，就在这儿，稍等一下。
All right, now we're back to business. Now these guys are following the left side rule. I bet they don't even know it. So the general, remind me again. So the general was on the Zheng Jieshi side, right?
Yeah.
He was a friend of Zheng Jieshi. Oh, and he died in 2001. That's not too far ago. It's my lifetime for sure.
大明国时期四大美男子呢，张学良将军其中之一，周恩来、蒋介石，据说长得最帅的是汪精卫，对，卖国贼汪精卫啊。那我们到里面来
He's
看
one
一
of
眼。
the most handsome general in that times.
Really?
Yeah.
One of the most handsome guys at that time. And then he had to go to prison. What a shame. All those good
But
looks.
there's lady,
All those good
there's
looks.
lady loved him and chased him and lived here with him.
Really?
Yeah.
So he had like a little harem. You know that word, harem?
Romantic.
We can go in here, look at some. Junk there. Oh wow, this is an older picture of him. 50 years old.
This is the map where he moved.
Yeah. Oh, so he was running all those different places. So he was on Taiwan, and then there's Xiamen, right? So he went from Xiamen to Taiwan.
It was at
He
first
started
it's in
here.
Nanjing, started
Yeah.
from Nanjing,
Then he went to Ningbo.
and Huang Mountain,
Yeah.
and Haozhou. And,
Inland quite a bit. Is this all Zhejiang province?
no, the whole.
Whole of China. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, that's Zhejiang province. Zhang Shenlong is the most important person, is an important person in modern Chinese history.
各个地方都去过的，蒋介石去哪里，马上就给他转移一下。最后是在台湾。
Going around? History is so important, you know? If you don't learn from history, you're going to repeat it, you know? It's very poignant words, actually. More today than any time with this whole pandemic thing, you know? Some people aren't learning from past pandemics, and they're getting hurt really bad by this pandemic. Whereas other people who learned a lot from SARS and some other diseases that have come and gone implemented a lot of secure measures and saved a lot of people, here in Ningbo included. So was this the girl?
Yeah.
This was the girl that she loved him so much, she hung around in prison. That's That's commitment. Do you have a boyfriend that you would
No.
stay in prison for
No.
that long?
I haven't have a relationship yet.
Yet?
Yeah.
Not one?
No.
Holy
Not
moly.
one.
Not even a boyfriend?
No.
How old are you?
26, 27.
26? I had 5 relationships by the time I was 26. Wow. It's a funny thing about China. You know, like, I was talking to my wife. I got a daughter. She's 4 years old. And I was like, you know, she's, you know, someday she's going to have a boyfriend, 15, 16 years old, you know, what are you going to do? And she looked at me. She's like, she's not going to have a boyfriend until she's out of university. I was like, what? You know, in America, having relationships helps you grow. So like falling in love and then maybe falling out of love, having mature relationship with somebody, that teaches you lessons, you know. But in China, I think it's very focused on education, very focused on getting through these certain steps before you even think about having a relationship with anybody. That's definitely a difference between China and the West, or at least my idea of China and the West. How are we doing? We good? Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us on Go to Ningbo. Join us for what's the next one going to be?
Xiangshan Film and TV City.
Okay, so we're going to go to the, well, not me, unless you want. You really want me to come back for one? But the next one is going to be the Xiangshan TV and like movie studio, and so that should be interesting. You'll have a different host guiding you through that place. Yeah, if you want to follow me, this is my YouTube channel, Chayo, and right now I'm stuck here in China because I can't travel around the world like I normally do with the pandemic. So I'm talking about interesting topics that impact China and the United States where I'm from. So if you're interested in any of that, or cycling around the world or anything, visit my YouTube channel. And thank you guys to the Go to Ningbo for inviting me to host this episode. And I hope you learned a little bit about Xuedou Temple and a little bit about Ningbo, and maybe even a little bit about China. Have a good one, guys. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.